We're live. Hello, Ilyssa. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Hope you're
doing
doing well.
really well, thanks. Really good of you to come on the stream, and we're also joined by a spectator here, Linfern, who's just listening in. Um, I was really glad to meet you today, Linfern, but today I guess we'll make the interview mostly about Ilyssa, unless you're
Yeah, I'm really excited.
jumping in. Yeah, so Ilyssa, really great to finally get a chance to sit down with you and chat through sort of like what's on your mind. And you know, when I first met you through playing in like Waffle, and then subsequently when you invited me to stack lobbies and so on, I immediately got this vibe that you were both like good at the game, but also understand there's more to Among Us than just winning. Like there's also the relationships that you form with people. So I guess like, can you give your philosophy of what Among Us means to you?
Uh, So, so like I have a really hard time finding games I like to play because I get motion sickness for a lot of third person shooter games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really mechanically skilled at a lot of games like Super Smash Brothers
Mm-hmm.
or like StarCraft 2 or like League of Legends. So when Among Us like started becoming popular and I saw it was like a deception game that also had like a little bit of skill behind it, I was just so excited because I really hadn't been able to find a game that I would be really good at that I could actually interact with people around the world with on. Um, and so like to me, it's been really exciting to like meet new people from all over Discord and like build connections with people and also just like play competitively and find like a game I was like actually could play. Just
Fantastic.
because, yeah.
I
Mhm.
All of that speaks to me so much. Like a lot of what you've said makes a ton of sense. I mean, I do have some differences in my own worldview. Like I love Smash Brothers, even though Wiz
Yeah.
can shit on me in that game, I'll still play because I think
Yeah.
there's some joy in just like getting into the zone and grinding through different attacks and whatnot and getting better at a game. But certainly the social aspect of Among Us and meeting, as you said, so many people around the world in this brilliant game of social deduction and seeing people's characters come to life on the stage is just such a fun experience. And like you've obviously dedicated quite a bit of time into building like your very own server. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about stacked lobbies.
Sure. I'm actually like I'm the server. I've been a moderator at Stick to Lobbies basically since it formed last November, and I've been a server owner of a different server, Sussy Imposters, which was mostly modded um since like last like May. Uh, so when I first like I played a lot of modded from June until like November 2021. And when I eventually had gotten burned out of modded and I was looking to play vanilla again, I reconnected with some of my old vanilla friends, and they had recently started like they just basically made a server just to like have friends in and to ping people to go play in like a public server, like purple server. But it was actually like it was LFG at the time, looking for a game, Among Us LFG. So eventually we were able to recruit enough people where I was like, hey, we should just like actually just play in stacked lobbies, and then we can just play in this server, and then we could have like our waitlist mechanics, and then we could have like our house rules, so we wouldn't have to always be like um telling randoms that they have to do tasks and they like to follow our house rules. Uh, yeah. And so eventually like we were able to like recruit enough people from public servers that we could just be self-sustaining in stacked lobbies. And since then we've basically like been recruiting people from like friends. Like a lot of people came over from like my modded server to play in stacked, and a lot of people from stacked has gone and played in my modded server. It's kind of been like a kind of a sister server, just
Mm-hmm.
and we've always had kind of had similar rules. Like the moderators in stacked are great, and we've always been kind of played by like the Hafu lobby rules. Like you have to do tasks, you can't camp cams, you can't camp admin. uh what else do we do? Like you're supposed to be respectful.
Right. Some AFK
There's
rules
like
as well.
very yeah
Yeah.
yeah and no AFK rules, and we have like very strict med base game rules, like where we just don't really talk about med bay in stack lobbies.
Right.
So that's kind of like that's always kind of been the vibe, and we've kind of just like been able to kind of like meet new people from meeting new people, kind of collect a lot of the people who've been playing, like we've met like throughout our travels of years until like this one server is stacked for vanilla Among Us.
Have you come across a certain Australian woman by the name of Raka?
I've heard of her. I think just because you've mentioned her from Purple, and I think it was you who mentioned that would get along.
All of Stacked Lobby's entire philosophy, like not talking about medbay, not doing scummy stuff, and focusing on sort of the pure aspect of the social deduction element, seems like it would be exactly her cup of tea, and I'm surprised that the two of you have not met yet. So that could be.
I think she'd love it. I'd love to send her an invite.
Absolutely. She did also become a moderator in 5up server, so she might be a little busy with that. But yeah, certainly if you find a way of overlapping with Australian time zone, I think she would just have a blast playing with you.
We have lobbies in like the morning and the evening that fit with our we have like a pretty large European group. Great. So we have like the Euro lobby kind of in the morning, and then like a night lobby for America.
Awesome. I think she'd have a fun time playing. So yeah.
You would.
So like speaking of like fun characters, who are some of the other sort of like notable figures you've met throughout your travels that you'd like to sort of reminisce about?
Sure. So like one of my first Among Us friends, like one of my two friends is Lore. Basically, when I was in Reddit, I had just started playing in Reddit Among Us, and I really wanted to play with good players. So I'd always try to join the lobby with people who had like the experience tagged, which means they had played over like 40 hours in the server. And so I'd always try to play in her lobbies. And at one point, like we had some mutual friends, but like she already had her friend group. So at one point, I think I impressed her with an imposter game I had where I accused my partner on 5, and then she off-voted on 3 because of the votes on 5. And then she invited me to her server, and since then we've been like super close. We've been friends since like January 2021, December 2020.
Great. That's awesome.
Laura, she's really great.
She still play?
She's a mod in 5up server now.
Nice.
She's an excellent gaslighter. A lot of what I learned about gaslighting, I learned it from Lore. Nice. Some of my other notable friends is my friend Vex. He's also a great gaslighter. We played a lot together from like April until like this year when I stopped really playing vanilla Among Us and stacked. I learned a lot. What I learned from him was like he was like an excellent body misplacer. He'd always be like misplacing bodies, and I'd be like, wait, is it really there? And it became something you'd meta about him, but like it kind of I kind of learned that from him. The idea of like the body is where you want it to be, and like
love that.
And it helps you control the narrative.
What would you say is your meta?
Mm-hmm. My meta?
Yeah. If you're willing to divulge secrets.
Sure. Certain kills I do are very like Ilyssa kills, like certain snipe kills, like I've been killing like in O2 behind a lot of people. That's like one of my kills.
Does that happen in the meeting? Do they say this is such an Ilyssa kill, even if you're not like sus for it in a different reason?
Okay. in like older lobbies that would happen. In older lobbies that would happen. Yeah.
Yep.
What else is my meta? I've been trying to work on it. Sometimes I'll have like an imposter voice, which I try to work on.
Yeah.
That's my meta. Like sometimes like I'll want to skip to keep sus people alive.
Yeah, of course.
Imposter.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I'd rather like skip on 5 than vote because I want to get those people voted off later.
Right, you want to frame them for sure. That's funny though.
I'd have to ask someone else what my metas are. I used to have a dropship meta where my friend Vex, he could tell if I was imposter on dropship based on whether or not I had vision. Because like apparently when I was crew, I would look around, but when I was imposter, I would just run down because I had vision and could see everyone.
Yeah, this is like a thing that was brought up in a Reddit post like over a year ago. about like if you're looking into rooms for a quote unquote body, make sure you go deep into the room because otherwise you're tipping your hand that you have imp vision.
I do remember that post too.
Yeah.
But he was always be like, I can tell it's Ilyssa on dropship, and he wouldn't tell me, but I more recently got him to tell me, which was nice.
Nice.
And then yeah,
It's always fun when someone like trusts you enough to reveal their secret technology in a private call.
yeah. But I've since fixed the dropship Ilyssa meta. You'd have to ask like I guess the people I play with now
I
a lot,
see.
like Stell,
So
Lore,
since we're talking
Mega,
about like
Cookie.
your qualities as a player, what would you say are your top strengths?
I'm pretty dependable. I think as a generally good crewmate. I like to get good information. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't tunnel. I think that's
Okay, so you
what I do
consider
best. I
all
don't
angles.
tunnel.
You don't tunnel.
Yeah.
You're dependable.
Yeah. If
Usually your shot
yeah.
is trustworthy.
Yeah, like if someone is like accusing someone else, like or like and is not really sure, I'd rather just get the information from everyone else and just like kind of look for people to trip up on their stories because sometimes when two people are just kind of going at it, it's neither of them and it's just
Right.
someone else and their stories is you're gonna be caught because
Makes
they
sense.
aren't where they say they are.
Right.
And so that's getting good information.
And what do you think are your
something
challenges currently? Where are you weakest?
Sometimes like it depends, like as crewmate or imposter. As crewmate, sometimes like I can be drowned out, especially like if there's a lot of big personalities.
It's like the opposite of the Zach problem.
Yeah, but like sometimes I'm like, if I'm like depending on the lobby, I'll be like one of the loudest voices, but sometimes I'm not one of the loudest voices, and I'll have good information, but kind of get like
yelled
I
over,
can't
so-
really feel like I can like be like, hey, we're really going in the wrong direction with this because I don't want to be rude. Like,
I see.
but sometimes but because sometimes like there's certain people I don't want to cut off, but if it's like randoms in purple, I will like cut them off. I'll be like, no.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's more of like louder personalities and like better lobbies that struggle in. As imposter, it depends. Like
Awesome.
I normally do decently well. I don't get like flat out caught. It's a lot of times it's unfortunate circumstances, like where like either my partner will like get voted out early or it just accidentally getting framed for your partner's kill. Or...
How about what's something that another player does really well that you would like to emulate?
Let me think about it. Okay. Well, I used to like I guess like more recently. Let me see.
There's no wrong answer, of course, right?
Yeah. I think like basically some of the kills that Pyro and Cuppy do, where they're able to essentially like almost get cleared for the kills they did by doing very clever vent kills. Like they'll be seen in labs. They'll be able to name a couple of people in labs, and then they'll vent over and kill an electrical. Nice. And essentially almost get cleared unless you really like dig into the detail. Like I'd really like to get better at those type of kills where you're getting cleared essentially getting a clear for it.
That is a dream.
I normally don't necessarily get cleared for my kills. I try to make kills that are between more than like 3 people, but I don't necessarily get cleared unless like an imp vouch.
Cool. And
then like another thing that I think like for example Cuppy does well is he does a lot of second imp plays where he'll like clear his imposter partner subtly, and I do that sometimes, but sometimes I just really don't have the opportunity to do that as much as I would like to. Like I really like to work with like an imposter partner.
You guys don't allow DMing between the imps, right?
No, we don't have mechanics for that, and that's actually one of the only things I've like get ranked. I'm like, oh, that actually is pretty cool. Like, I like that idea.
What about just like a house rule where you can DM each other on Discord if you're both red text names?
I think we'd have to decide that because that really just changes the game a lot, and I think we'd only do that if like the crew win rate was like so high that we needed that. But it'd be something I'd really like to try.
Yeah, I mean, you
Um,
could always like try a few experimental games and see if it really shifts the balance as much as you think. Because it's only a
yeah, that would be
small
fun.
advantage for
Yeah,
the most part. Because you
because
don't do it
definitely
mid-round.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely in Stacked is very like because we have like our no camping rules. Um, we don't necessarily always vote on 9 or 8. We don't really button like a ton. Like
Right. It's less scummy to
it or
begin with.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty more in favor than like something like purple.
For
But
sure.
we still had to like implement rules. Like we didn't used to have like no camps round one. Like we added that because
Right.
crew was doing really well.
Right. And
The only other thing that we have is crew favorite is that we have anonymous votes off, so that
right.
you have to be very strategic with your voting.
I see. Does that feel more fun to you? Like, why the anonymous votes off?
It's just more of a strategy thing.
I see.
You have to be very strategic with your vote. Like maybe you want to vote your imposter partner one round. You just have to really think about it. Like
Yeah, it's just a different game. I don't think it's wrong.
yeah.
I don't think there's a wrong or right choice there. I'm just curious, like, what makes that more fun in your mindset?
I like being able to sus vote people, to be fair, because like a lot of times like I'll sus someone and then I'll die and then no one will remember.
I
But
see,
then
because
after we have
your
turned off,
coloured vote was on them, and they can't lie about who voted them.
yep, exactly. I can be like, oh well, Ilyssa voted this person last round and now she's dead.
Yeah. So it gives you a bit of hope as a dead crewmate.
Exactly.
Got it. So do you think having played modded briefly, or not briefly, for an extended period, and then coming back to your true love, vanilla, that you have thoughts on like the two and how they compare against each other?
Yeah, definitely. So depending on like the settings, it all really depends on the settings. When I first started playing modded in like June, I was really excited. You had all the roles, you have lovers, you have really cool imposter roles, you have like the arsonist, jester, and it was really fun. But depending on the settings, it became less of a deception game, and it became a lot about the roles.
Right.
And so there was a point where I just kind of got like,
It's like a circus.
I just wanted
or
to do
something.
something. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to do
Right.
something new. I wanted to like go back to the roots of like deceiving people, which I felt like was really hard to do and modded, just because like you're more looking for trying to like essentially guess roles if you're evil guesser, or like set up like vents if you're like the miner, a lot of different things. But when I went back to vanilla, I was really excited to like when I went back to vanilla, I was also playing with like a new group of people, so it was kind of fun to like a lot of strategies I had just been afraid to try when I had first started playing vanilla Among Us, like clearing my imposter partner, misplacing bodies, like all these things. Like when I went back to vanilla and started playing random lobbies, I had like so much confidence. Like I could do all the stuff I couldn't have done before, like flawlessly.
That's awesome.
And it was just fun to be able to like deceive people again. But like I still eventually like I used to play vanilla like all the time, like 6 hours a day. It was nuts.
That's great. Yeah.
I eventually got burnt out until I saw them playing. I was burnt out for months, and then like I reconnected with Germ, to help with something for my modded server, and he was like, "Oh, I'm playing with 5up in the Waffle House sales lobbies that he had invited me to months ago, but I hadn't really like played in here before." And I watched them play modded, and I like fell in love with the settings. I was like, "Oh, this is like the perfect balance of like deception and like a little bit extra modded fun."
Right.
Like it can still be a deception game, but it's also like
there's some
you can still have the rules.
Things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
So I really like the way we play modded here. And like especially because we have very strict no role claiming rules.
Right.
So like even if you have role based information, there's some deception to like concealing it, but also like sussing the person. Like if you know like the killer, like for example for a detective, like if you report a body, you know if the killer is a lighter or darker color. You can't make it obvious that you're only sussing one or the other.
Right, because otherwise your role is immediately revealed.
Exactly. But you also kind of want to like make it known that, like, oh, I really think this person's the
Yeah,
imposter.
for reasons I can't
Too.
disclose, I'm
Yeah.
leaning towards
Or
this person.
or like if you
Awesome.
catch someone killing with your lighter ability, you can't just be like, I saw them kill, because like the lights are off. You're on
Right.
0.25 vision. You can't have seen them kill. Um, so you have to like be very subtle about it.
So given that, like, playing a bit of something else, like modded, sort of rekindled the flame for you, do you think that, yeah, firstly, have you experimented with other social deduction games like Mafia or like Town of Salem or Spyfall and so on? Or is it just not a thing you've tried yet?
Oh, so I have a background in deception games because I used to play when I like before the pandemic. I used to play a lot of board games. So I would play Avalon and One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I love those games,
Mm-hmm.
which is why when Among Us came out, I was like, this is exactly my cup of tea for a
Nice.
game.
Yeah.
I have been really wanting to try Mafia. Like I've been talking with Quicks about it, like of doing like a Mafia here, but I actually really want to try it, and I've been considering trying it in 5 up server. I just haven't really had the like they ping us, and then I'm like, oh, do I want to join?
And then you go
But
back
I
to
just
your
haven't had the
familiar.
like yeah.
Right.
Town of Salem, I'm still not sure about. I know some people play it, but I don't know if that deception that is.
You think
But
it's
I'm interested in
like a
playing it
different
if it
game,
was like
not
with
so
the
much
right group.
deception?
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. You should try Spyfall sometime.
I've played Spyfall before a little
Yeah.
bit. I played a little bit of it. We played
Right.
it with some. Yeah, it was a party game. I
But you
enjoyed
played
it
it like
enough.
casually offline, right?
Yeah, casually.
I've
Some of my Euro friends.
recently started playing it with some friends from Ranked Among Us, and it can be really fun. It sort of like also gave me some confidence to try different strategies. Because I used to, as a player, mostly focus on what's happening on the map, and in the meetings I'd
Yeah.
be quiet or like give very like just strictly the info and then like sort of mute my mic type of deal. But
Yeah.
after playing a bit of Spyfall, I realized you can just claim shit like that you're hard clear for no good reason and insist that it's true because you're quote unquote bleeding crew. And then I noticed
Oh
after
god.
realizing that other people have already been doing that, and I've just been blind to it because I thought previously the only way you get hard clear is if there's a double kill and you're mechanically hard clear. But no, you could be just crew, quote unquote, because you're quote unquote giving all the info or figuring out the mystery. But you can absolutely just pretend to be doing that and claim to know stuff that you shouldn't, or like make up a convoluted story that proves to people that you're way ahead of them in the game, even though you're not. You're just making up bullshit.
Yeah, no, I love the bullshit.
Yes,
It's so fun.
it's
A lot of
amazing.
my imposter games, like I just like I'm like never on the map because I'm always kind of like looking around, looking where people are, and then I just like claim like, oh, you're in labs? Like, oh, I'm also in labs. Like, where in
Right.
labs are you?
You could
Or
be
like,
like,
I'm
oh,
in O2.
who's with me in O2? And then
Yeah,
they'll
who's
say
with me
their
in O2?
position, and then you'll be like, oh, but what task are you doing?
Yeah,
You know, you like make them give the info.
that's a very Ilyssa strategy. Oh, and Ilyssa meta is because I am always afraid to get sheriffed when I am like I don't like going down without a fight. So if I get sussed and then you don't see me, that is like, oh, Alyssa's imposter. She's like lurking above storage. That's kind of an Alyssa meta.
Amazing. If you suddenly
But I'll
disappear off
still
map.
yeah. Yeah, like I'll still be claiming places like, oh, I'm in labs.
I
We
do
just
that
like,
shit
we
too.
just missed
If
each
I know
other.
that I'm a sinking ship, I'll run under storage and just watch the button. And if someone tries the button, reactor's getting called, or lights, or comms,
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. I had
Amazing.
I think a 1v9 where I just like Wiz was like, I'm in O2, and I'm like, oh, where are you in O2? And he's like, canisters. I'm like, well, I was in water wheels and I didn't see you, but it took up my whole screen, and he came out more sus than I did.
That's
after
amazing.
that. Yeah, or I just
Love
because
it.
I
Yeah,
never
if
like
you-
to claim off
Right.
admin
I mean, if you
places
claim
as
confidently some total bullshit, then people start getting all nervous to try to counterclaim or like find holes because you make a bold-faced lie.
Yep, you just get used to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes you get caught, but
Yes, of course. And then you just have to 50-50 yourself with whoever like argues with.
yeah.
Claim that they are the
Normally
liar.
like, oh, we just missed each other.
Or
But
like, oh,
normally
I
as
caught you now. I caught you in a lie. I'm there. I put my life on it.
yeah, but
Good times.
normally as imposter, I really want to clear myself with
Yes.
either being able to give like some sort of info that is helpful,
Right.
or like actually having a clear. Like,
Right.
so it's like if I do a kill, like, and I don't necessarily have a clear, I'll be like, oh, I have this admin table information,
Right. And that
or I
could
have this
be fake.
timing.
The admin
Yeah,
info can be
exactly,
generated by who you see.
exactly. Like, I did a kill, I think, last week, and it was on Skeld, and I killed like outside of I killed in between reactor and security, and I was like, oh, there's someone in reactor, and then I walk up towards like cafeteria, I see Stell go into med bay, and then someone else reports the body, and I'm like, okay, so my admin table information was one lower engine, one reactor, and one med bay, because the person had to come up from lower engine, because I
Amazing.
just
That
yeah,
gets you clear. That's great.
didn't necessarily get me cleared, but they wanted to vote someone else out
Right,
first
right. You
before
look a
they
little bit
voted
more
out
crude
me.
by giving these fake
Exactly.
admin glyphs.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like
See,
you
I
gotta
miss
use your vision.
Skeld, I miss Mirror. These maps, they're not ranked viable because of O2 trees. Boo.
Oh. Yeah.
That leaves task.
I like because I got so burnt out, I don't play as much anymore at all. But when I do play, I have to play all the different maps because otherwise, if like I'm playing multiple like 3 hours of Polus, I'll just get bored.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love playing Mira and I love playing Skeld.
I would love to
I like
play
playing Mira a
Mirror,
lot.
Skeld, Submerged, Airship, whatever. Like, I do love variety, but I also
Yeah,
enjoy the grind of ranked, as weird as that is. Just different
the
strokes,
Polus grind.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
GG's.
It's very fun to stack bodies on Mira.
Yeah, absolutely. And like venting around, you can get anywhere from anywhere. And there's
Yeah.
no vitals. Like, it's a fun map.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's you have to just know how to play it. A lot of people get really scared with Mira because they're like, "Oh, where do I kill?" But there's like you can kill everywhere, and especially like we play where you can't use admin table until your tasks are done because
Oh,
it's too easy
wow.
to like
Catch the venters.
yeah,
You just call
it's too
comps.
easy to catch people venting because like
just
you'll
call
be an
comps.
admin with 3 people and one person will be venting across the map and you just hard clear everyone else.
Sure. That's fair.
So that made it fun.
Yeah.
But we still like win as crew, and you can still use door logs. And I always go in door logs. Like I'll like check it at the beginning of the round just to get quick info, and
Right,
I
right.
still get shit for that, even though I don't camp them. And because there's only like
You get
2 or 3
accused of being
people in the
too
lobby.
sweaty.
I just like door logs. I just think they're fun.
Door logs
so
are fun. They're like kind of
I
quirky and like glitchy. Like if you cross the sensor too quickly twice, it only records it once.
exactly, but I think it's like I don't even get really concerned about being caught via like people camping door logs. I'm like, okay, I'll just make my door logs check out.
Right.
It's easy. You just like
Or
if you're
call
in
comms to
med
clear the
bay,
door logs.
clear the door logs or just vent back to where you were before and clear that location and your door log check out.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask a question. Oh yeah, have you seen Mirror Meltdown? Do you know what this is?
Yes, I have. I've wanted to try it. I think I watched it. You mentioned it to me months ago.
I see.
And I keep forgetting to try it. But yeah, I
Awesome.
definitely want to. I tried
That's fun.
practicing it in the free play,
Nice, nice. So
but I'd love to be able to do it.
that technology has been adapted by Tom Dog, who I call the mad scientist of imposter technology, and he patented a new variant on Polus, which involves using the same doors exploit to stack bodies in Specimen Hallway. So suppose you've gotten a kill in Specimen Hallway on Polus, and you don't want the body to be found. So what you do is, you open the bottom decontamination door. You don't go in, but it stops anyone opening the top decontamination door, like in the same decontamination room, because you slow down the door by using up the cycle, right? And then it opens, and it shuts. And then you just open it again. And you keep doing this to sort of like waste the ability for crewmates to get in there quickly. And then by the time they do get in there, you snap their neck right next to the other body. Now you've got 2 bodies, and now you run out and you get a solo triple kill. He has a video of himself doing this. It's actually pretty cracked.
That's pretty cool. I've gotten a triple kill in specimen myself too.
Nice.
That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite clips. Like I think my most popular 100 has a whole 100 views of me stacking 3 bodies in specimen.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like
triple kill.
yeah, it's fun. I got 3 bodies in specimen before my partner got a single kill.
Wow.
Because he walked through it and it was like he walked in with someone to specimen and I snapped the person he walked in with next and he was like, oh, I guess I need to get out of here.
That's great. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Stacking bodies. Stacked lobbies, stacked bodies.
Yeah, I love stacking bodies. It just if I ever hit in a partner, will try to like wiggle next and like be like, hey, can we stack bodies? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, perfect.
We're doing this.
Most of the times they don't get it though. Most of the times
they self-report your kill and they suss you on 9.
Most of the time they're just like, oh great, what do you want to do? And then they go over and kill somewhere and that body gets found immediately. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted
tangent. Tell me about the biggest fails you've had, or like
memorable fails that I've had?
Sure, that you've had, or that like your imp duo. Like I'll give you one. Like let's see, this is not even my own story, but like we were playing with Jelly Peanut, and then Tax. I don't know if you know who Tax is. His imp partner, who I won't mention, but they will go by W, let's say. And Tax has set it up so that only one more kill is needed, and W has kill cooldown up, and W walks up to the body and reports one of Tax's kills instead of hitting the kill button. It's so sad, and it would have just been a free win. Yeah, all right.
I have 2 stories like that. I have one where exactly the same thing happens. I'm stacking bodies in specimen. I get 1 kill. We're on 7. I get 1 kill in specimen. Someone comes in to report that body. I kill them. I'm like, come on, just get 1 kill. Just get 1 kill. I see him in lower decontam. I call light so they can't button. I'm just like, kill 1 person. He comes in. He reports the body in the lower specimen hallway by accident. And I just was like, I'm screaming.
It must be so hard to not say anything in the meeting. And then you have to act happy.
Yeah, and he got voted out.
I was like, oh my god, you saved the game. And then you're inside dying.
Yeah. There was another one similar to that where it just me and my partner had like absolutely no synergy. Where I'm basically camping this body and it's on submerged and I'm camping it. And I had kill cooldown up. And we were on 7 before and I'm camping it. And my partner comes in and just reports the body. And it had been a super long round. And so there was like 6 like it was almost done with tasks by the time he reported his body.
And I was like, on the body.
And he starts talking about how like he went and checked vitals and went to check admin and he wanted to look how crew he wanted to look. And I'm like, we could have just double killed, right?
Imagine if he just like immediately starts asking you questions. Like, so where are you?
His admin information even said that someone was camping the body, and I was like,
no.
"What the hell are you doing?
That's so bad.
Why are you outing me?"
Oh, yikes.
Oh, that was one of the cringiest things ever.
Oh, another fun one. We had a newer player on ranked, and we've got me and him alive, 2 imps on 6, and then we set up the double kill, and we have right reactor, and he fixes reactor and gets buttoned.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're an imp, not a crewmate.
Oh, I have lots of stories like that. It's mostly like, never try to double kill with someone like in a random lobby. They all just like if you can find someone who could successfully do a double kill with you on 6 in a random lobby, that is like
then they're actually like a decent player. Like I that's a low bar, man. Like if they
I don't know. People still mess that up all the time.
Sure, like, but at least if they're trying. If they fix reactor, I'm just like, okay, that's not correct player. If they're
that's
at least
fair,
okay, they try to do the double kill, but someone hits report because they spam report. It's like fair enough. Like everyone fails at this sometimes, but. Oh boy, yeah, good times.
Yeah. One time I was sick. This was like when Engineer came out. We played with Engineer in vanilla, and me and my partner are double killing on 6, and he kills on like top left like reactor, And I'm like,
Okay.
great, we got this. I'm just guarding at like right next to like the
The vent.
electrical cage, like near the camera,
Okay.
near
Yep.
the vent.
Nice.
And then my friend who's engineer pops out of the vent and like goes, and I kill him right before, but I had like a panic attack because like it was such a good play, like that he almost like got the report
Oh
just because he was
wow.
like in the vent. It was so clever.
That's
Like
amazing. He could have like jumped out and hit report. That's
exactly.
so scary. Oof.
Yeah.
Have you actually
I
have you
wasn't
lost a
expecting it
game
at
where
all.
you had a report button but you got killed and that was the final kill?
I always spam report during double kills.
Yeah. I
But
think it happened to me just today. It was so sad. But you know, that sort of scenario, like sometimes desync will end up losing the game even if you do hit report because the kill goes
yeah,
through with priority, I think.
normally it's in my favor though, because I've had a couple wins like that where like the body's reported just as like the kill happens.
Right.
You have some clips like that.
Yeah. Whew.
But yeah, it's always
Good
fun.
times. Yeah, so vanilla seems like it is your true calling. All
No,
said and done.
I still think I'm more of like modded, but it has to be like the perfect
I
settings, or I'm
see.
just
So
not
it's like
interested.
chill bobsled modded lobby type of deal.
Yeah, I love the settings like that we play. That's why I have like my own lobby on Wednesdays in here. That's like a free for all. But
That's
lately it's
right.
been like
I
super
forgot that you
popping.
have like an your own little Ilyssa bobsled thing going on.
Yeah, it's for the like it's not like gated by anything, but I do try to like people who like play every week, and like I know they only play like once or twice a week. I try to make sure they get a spot in. But recently has been popular where we're gonna have to get people to share spots in like my
Yeah.
Wednesday lobby
Two
when
people
we used
doubling
to
up
like
in the
have
same
trouble.
seat on the bobsled.
Yeah, exactly. But and I also have a lobby on uh Saturday that I started with Toxic.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to make it the last couple of weeks because he's been busy. But where is basically I took a lot of like my like some of my favorite players and like Waffle House and some of my favorite players and like Stacked. And I like kind of mesh them together so we have like a kind of a like a combo lobby of like getting like groups together so people get to play with new people, and I've been inviting like old friends to the
Cool.
lobby like uh and so that's been really exciting. Like I have one tomorrow, and it's like Wiz is playing, like Pinky's playing, and then there's like my friend Laura is playing, and then like some other people from Waffle House are playing. So
Chill. That's gonna be good
yeah,
vibes.
yeah, it's a really good lobby. It's
So I
really
have a
exciting.
couple of fun questions for you. One,
Sure.
what do you want to be remembered for in the Among Us community? That's the first question. Second question, so you can be thinking about the questions a little bit. What would you change if you had a magic wand about Among Us in general? Could be about like the game, could be about the community, could be about anything. And then three, who are some people that you would love to play with but haven't yet had the chance to?
Okay, sure. Okay. So what I think I would like to be remembered for is, I think I want to be considered like I want people to remember that I was fun to play with. I think
Yeah.
that I was enjoyable to play with, and I was a good, reliable player. I think I don't know what else.
Good vibes, good skill.
So,
That type of deal.
yeah, I was like I was a good player, and I was reliable, and I was fun.
Awesome.
Um, what was the other next question?
Next question was about what is something you would change if you could wave a magic wand?
Just get rid of the medbay scan task.
Yeah. Nuke it from
Like
orbit.
replace it with something else.
Fuck
Yeah.
that medbay scan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you do that. What else? I think there's a couple other things, but like
I
from
think
like
if you
vanilla,
had
just
the
be like
magic wand and you
medbay
used it
scan.
on that, I think there would be a massive improvement in like the need to use some social deduction instead of relying on scan.
Yeah.
That would be a big
And then
good
yeah,
change.
yeah. Then also potentially make I think Wiz suggested this like admin and cams like gated by like tasks.
Yeah, like recharge the battery or whatever, right? Like we don't have enough tasks
Yeah,
done. We can't use these yet. Please power up the
exactly.
engines. Yeah.
Stop those people pre-running to office.
Cool.
And then what is the last one?
Last question was about like who are some people you'd love to play with but haven't yet had the opportunity to do so. for instance, and like Hafu or like other famous streamer type of deal, or like
Yeah.
people who are in different social circles to yourself that you don't see as much, or people who have left and you'd love to play with again.
Yeah. Let me see. So I think of like let's like I'll do like the famous like streamers. I think Hafu and Dumb Dog would be
Mm-hmm.
really fun to play with. Like when I watch like Dumb Dog's like imposter games, I think they're very like clever and like he uses like vision for kills. He doesn't just like kill and run away. And I really respect that.
Nice.
Playing with 5 Up was always fun. I was glad I got to play with him, but it would be fun to play with him again,
Mm-hmm.
just because he's a good player. I think of the people like that I haven't got to play with. I think a lot of the people who just joined Stacked, I think it'd be interesting to play with like Sen and Decode and like Mikey and like really I guess Rocket would be good to play with. Just because I haven't played with them before, but I've kind of seen them on Twitch.
Cool.
But I'm not really interested in the ranked scene, so I'm not
Right.
really gonna go play ranked because I don't think I'd have fun.
Yep. Yep. You despise it.
Yeah. But
Cool.
yeah, I wanna like play with like a lot of the people that joined Stacked. I might actually try to play in Stacked a little bit more just because it's some new faces. Kind of looks interesting.
Great. These have all been excellent discussions. We are winding down now because my eyes are
Okay.
starting to get lidded. Do you have any sort of closing thoughts, maybe some shout outs or like other things you'd like to get out to the world?
I don't know. I guess like I don't know. Shout out to like Stacked and Associate Imposters. They're such good servers, and like I learned a lot of like what I learned from like playing in those servers. Um, I don't know. I don't know anyone else to shout out to.
Sure. Did you have fun with our talk today?
I did. I'm so excited we got
Great.
to do this.
Wonderful.
I remember I watched your interview of Cow and I was like, oh wow, someone's doing Among Us interviews.
I love these chats. I think it's really nice getting to know what makes people tick. And people
Yeah.
reveal a lot about their character by the topics they engage in, the maturity that they engage on, like whether they talk about mostly others oriented things or self oriented things. Like the attitude of someone who can reflect on that they have growth areas, that it's about leaving a good impression on others, these sorts of things that you come up with, versus someone who's like unable to see any flaws in themselves, insist that they are the best, is wondering what the world can do differently to better serve themselves. It's just such a different outlook. It reveals a lot about themselves. It's the same way that you can suss out the imposters in the game by just asking them some questions. You can quickly determine someone's character by just letting them speak a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful person, Ilyssa. I will say that. I think
Oh, thank
Among
you.
Us community is so
Appreciate
lucky to
that.
have you. And if we could have more Ilyssas, I think this would just be such a wonderful world to live in.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's so nice.
Absolutely,
It's
and
good
I
to
mean
talk
it.
to you.
Yeah, likewise. I look forward to when we can next chat. Who knows what will Among Us will look like then? And yeah, hopefully we can have some fun games in Stacked, Waffle, or
Yeah,
wherever else.
of course.
Maybe
Okay.
Saucy Imposters.
Yeah.
All right, take it
Yeah.
easy. Until next time.